Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy. So in today's society, I feel like there's a lot of information about narcissism, which is great. We can become more educated on the topic. But something that I feel like that is lacking is what happens after the narcissist, the healing process, the things that you are to experience after narcissism, which made me come up with an idea of, I think that we're going to do a series here on this channel called Don't Fear, Be Prepared. And basically in the series, we're going to talk about what you will experience after breaking up with the narcissist, dating after the narcissist, trusting again after the narcissist. We'll just talk general things. Even you go ahead and put your ideas down below of things that you would like to know more after the narcissist, so that way you feel like you're more prepared. Oftentimes I see with my clients or just with people in general, they're so terrified after the narcissist because it's a huge trauma when you see someone's capable of doing the things that a narcissist is capable of. It can make you become scared of the world and scared of connections and scared of people. So with this series, the goal is to make you feel more prepared and not scared. So that way you can have a more fulfilled life. You're not living in this perpetuating fear all the time. So go ahead and leave any of your ideas down below, things that you would like to know or you feel like there's not enough information on when it comes to life after the narcissist. So today's topic we're going to focus on in the series is the very first thing, which is what you will experience after a narcissistic breakup. But before we do get into today's video, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Missy. I am a life and relationship coach, and on this channel we get to the root of the issue and we learn how to heal and deal. So if that's your thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to be a part of the fam. And if you already are a subscriber, I really appreciate so much. And if you are interested in any of my coaching services, I will leave it in the link down below, which you can go ahead and check out. Let's get into today's video. So what will you experience after a narcissistic breakup? One of the first things you will experience is you're gonna replay the relationship in your head. You're gonna think back to every moment, every bad moment, every good moment. You're not gonna understand what happened or why it happened. You're gonna be confused. How did things get so sour? You'll think of the very beginning when things were so amazing and when they were so loving. Or you're gonna think about all those loving moments that they had and not understand how did they go from this person to all of a sudden this monster or this mean person that is so unempathetic. Like, how do they have those two switches? You will go through all of the red flags, think about things that you missed, think about times when you didn't listen to yourself. You will ask yourself, was it all a lie? You will ask, did they ever really love me? And you will, even if you'll have outside input, you'll still really ruminate over these questions because they don't make sense to you, because there was so much push and pulling and there was such highs and lows. So because of this, your brain, because of all of the confusion, your brain is trying to get some clarity, and that's why you will ruminate on it to try to understand what happened, because it just doesn't make any sense. How could things be two extremes? One minute they're so loving and charming and amazing, and the next minute they're so mean and abusive. Another thing that you'll experience is you're going to mourn over them. So you were with this person who was not who they portrayed to be. You believed they were this certain person for so long, and now you're having to accept the reality that they never were this person. They never were the person they claimed to be. It was all a delusion. You know, the rug was ripped right from under you. You will feel deep pain. You will feel sadness. It will feel like you're dealing with a death. You're having to grieve over it. And it's gonna feel like a huge betrayal. When you deal with betrayal, it feels like the world has completely flipped upside down and the world doesn't look the same anymore. Because someone that you trusted, you realize you could never really trust them. That's big for us as humans, to trust somebody and then they risk our security and our safety. That hits deep and that really messes with our psyche. So you're going to experience that, and that's one of the reasons why you will be very scared of the world, is because you trusted someone that didn't deserve your trust, and now it's going to be scary because you're going to struggle with trusting yourself and you're going to struggle with trusting the world. So Going back to, you're going to mourn over this person that you thought they were, and you're going to go through all of those moments and just feel so sad. And you may even feel very angry. You're going to go through whole different bouts of emotions, same way someone that's grieving. The next thing that you will experience is you're probably going to beat yourself up, which this is something common that a lot of victims go through, which is so sad. But to some degree they feel like they have some sort of control, because in our minds we feel we should be smart enough to be able to detect these things or protect ourselves, and then when we're not, when we don't, we feel a lot of shame and we feel very embarrassed and we put a lot of blame on ourselves. So you're going to experience a lot of shame. You're going to have these feelings like you should have known better, you should have listened to yourself, you should have looked at these red flags, you should have listened to your family and friends. You'll think, I should have left sooner. You should have listened to maybe the exes that reached out to you. You should have listened when they were talking so badly about their exes. You'll feel all those things. That should have language, which is such shameful language. It will be a big part of your vocabulary for a period of time. And then again, it will go back to you questioning, why didn't they love me? And you will take it very personal when it's something that's not personal. It feels personal, obviously, because why did they go after you and ruin your life? But really, it had nothing to do with you. It was because of them. They're mentally unwell. They're a shell of a person. They cannot have deep connections with other people. They are experiencing a lot of shame and a lot of deep issues within themselves. They're not self-aware and they project it out onto you, and that has nothing to do with you. There is nothing you could have done or you did to have caused that. They are incapable of love or having deep connection. So when you are in that state where you are shaming yourself and you're blaming yourself, it does not matter. There's nothing you could have done, and there's nothing you did to cause it. It doesn't even matter how many times they told you it was your fault. It doesn't matter. They're responsible for their actions, and they made a choice to do those things. You had no part in it. Another thing you'll experience, which also can be very confusing, is you'll have feelings that you want them back. And there's multiple reasons why this happens. One reason is rejection. So when you feel rejected, there's a part of you that wants them to want you again. We as humans, we don't want to feel rejected. We don't want to feel that pain. So we want for them to come back and say, hey, I made a mistake. Hey, I messed up. It was on me. So that way you can stop feeling like it happened because of you. And then it goes into your self-worth. You'll want them to come back because you have such low self-worth, especially from being in a relationship with them and them beating you down and devaluing you. You'll have such low self-worth that you will just want them to come back to make you feel worthy again, because what they've done is they've beat it into your brain, or they've ingrained it in your brain that you are only worth anything when you're with them. And so because that is ingrained in your brain and you've heard it so many times, you now take that with you and you're like, oh my god, I'm never gonna find anyone, I'm unlovable, I'm worthless. You feel all these things, and so you feel like you need them to come back to feel like you won't be alone forever. You feel like you're worth something. You also want them to come back because of the intense trauma bond, where there are those extreme highs after those extreme lows. And so not only do you feel like you need them, but you will also be addicted to those chemicals. You've been conditioned to feel like you need this person in order to feel good. And depending how long you've been with them, when you're with them for a while, they are the only thing that's been trained in your brain that makes you feel good. And so you will crave them and want them. The same way with a drug addiction, it's the exact same thing. And that's why you will crave them and want them, even though on a logical level you understand they're bad and they suck, but you, on a physiological level, you are craving them and you're craving their words. And also you'll want them to come back because of the future faking. They had painted this beautiful imaginary picture, especially because they know so much about you and they know the things that you crave and the things you love and desire. They've painted this picture of things that you want, and you hold on to that because they're the only person that's really described it in a way that made you feel like home or made you feel like at peace. So you crave for that future that they had promised you, and so that's what you also will hold on to, this potential charming great person that you know they could be, that they've temporarily showed you in the beginning or during the love bombing stages, and you'll hold on to that and you're like, well, it's possible. And that's where the cognitive dissonance comes in. You're like, it's possible that they could be that person because they've shown it to me. It's just sometimes they show this ugly side, but I know it's possible, so maybe there is hope. And you will hold on to that hope and you'll want them to come back. And again, even though you know that they are bad and you've been told so many times, on an emotional level, there's a part of you that will always hope that they can change, or they can be this loving person that they've shown you, and that they will make you feel like you're good enough. And that's where it comes from, your wounds, from your inner child wounds, where that inner child part of you is the one that wants to feel good enough. Because most likely you have those deep wounds from childhood, from your own parents, where they maybe made you feel like you weren't good enough. And so now you're experiencing the same exact thing, that abandonment and that not feeling good enough. You're hoping for that. Subconsciously you're doing the repetition compulsion where you're trying to resolve it. Another thing that you will experience is that you will deal with them hoovering over you and coming back, very much push and pulling you, and it will confuse the hell out of you, because one day they will want nothing to do with you, especially if you are begging them or pleading with them and saying, please, I need you, come back, whatever it is. And then if you start to do good, you withdraw from them and you're starting to pick your life back up, they have like this sensor where they're like, oh, I noticed so-and-so is probably doing better, I gotta go reach out to them. They're not really, but it feels like that. And then it will be hard because they're putting this charming, nice persona, or they're being on their best behavior, so it will confuse you, and you're already on your healing process of trying to feel better, but then it feels like they're reeling you back in, and it can be very hard to say no. And that's why oftentimes people will do years of back and forth. So you will deal with the hoovering, you will deal with them coming back and confusing you, especially when you disappear. They're always going to find a way to come back. So expect that. And when you expect it, it won't be a surprise. You'll be like, oh, I know that they're gonna come back. And so because I know they're gonna come back, I know how to protect myself a lot easier. Which we will definitely dive more into that with the hoovering process and how to deal with that. Another thing you'll experience is feeling very misunderstood. When you go through a narcissistic relationship and after you are done with them and you break up with them, you can feel very alone, you can feel very misunderstood, especially if you share friends or you share connections with people. It can be hard because a lot of times those people, they'll feel like they have to pick one side or the other, especially if you have a narcissist that is smearing your name or making it very messy. You will kind of see people's true colors and you'll see who really was your friend, and you can feel very misunderstood because this person, they're very good at manipulating and they're good at playing the game, and you're not. You're healthy minded, you're more in reality, and so they're flying monkeys or people that believe their lies, they may turn their back on you. Or maybe you'll share something with someone that you thought was a good friend and they may not believe you, and it can be really painful and it can really hurt because people won't get it. And you have to accept that people may not get it. Don't take it personal. They don't understand, and honestly it's kind of a good thing they don't understand because they don't have to experience such a hellish thing to deal with. But you have to find those people that you can rely on and you can speak to, which are people that have also been through narcissistic relationships, or people that are empathetic, that will just listen to you and not judge you. But you can feel very misunderstood when you're going through the process because you may have to go through a divorce, you may have to go through a situation with your kids and your kids being put in the middle, and you don't know how to handle having conversations with them about the situation, and their narcissistic parent is saying bad things about you and it's not true, and you're just all these things. It's hard to really be able to manage and go through this, and you can feel very isolated and alone and misunderstood. But what you can do is, in that moment of you feeling weak or misunderstood, you can find strength in knowing your reality and knowing your intentions, that you are trying to do what's best, and empathizing with yourself and being compassionate towards yourself and attending to your own needs. What happens in the dark always comes to light, so hold on to that. Even if maybe you're going through hell right now, it won't always be like that. It will be a temporary thing, and you will have your light. So that's where you can find your strength, and remembering why you are fighting when it comes to when you're going through a divorce, or you're going through separation and custody battles when it comes with your kids. And then the last thing that you will expect when you are going through a narcissistic breakup or after the breakup is you will have to rebuild yourself. You will kind of have to start over. When you are with a narcissist, they try to take everything good away from you, your accomplishments, the things that you enjoy. They try to manipulate you and mold you into what they want. And that can make you lose yourself, lose trust in yourself, lose the things that you enjoy, lose who you are, because you've had to mold yourself into who they want in order to protect yourself. So now it's about rebuilding yourself. And also you will have a lot of trauma and PTSD from it. You'll have a lot of anxiety. You may have physical health issues because of all of this stress that you've been under. So you will have to build yourself up, and that means working on you constantly gaslighting yourself. Maybe you're more nervous now. Maybe you are terrified to speak up. You know, identifying all of the areas that you struggle with and building yourself up. Learning to trust others again. Learning to trust yourself again. Learning who you are, learning the joys, learning what you value, learning what you love, and giving yourself those things. And there's going to be guilt, and you may, like I said, gaslight yourself, but being able to work through that and say, hey, it's okay for me to have these things, or it's okay for me to be who I am. Maybe you'll struggle with dating again because you feel like you're betraying them. All those things you will struggle with because they've felt like they've teared you down. And so this is where self-parenting language really comes into play. Being able to soothe yourself and being able to process your traumas are really important, and allowing yourself to feel your feelings and picking yourself back up. And also learning the things about narcissists, not in a way to scare you, but in a way for you to educate yourself, so you know, okay, I recognize these signs, I need to trust in my intuition. Just know at any time, even if you do invest in someone and they do something that makes you uncomfortable, you can always pull back a little. It doesn't always have to be black and white where it's like 100% you trust this person or 100% you don't trust this person. It's something that builds up over time, and you constantly check in with yourself to see how you feel about different situations. Okay, this person, I really feel like I get along with them and they're actually really kind and nice. I'm gonna invest my trust in this person. So what do you guys think? Leave it all in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. I don't know if you can see this, but love this for me. Love that that just happened for me. Love that I can't connect my computer and my camera. I can't connect my camera to my computer to upload the videos. I think I'm like the god of bad luck or something. In a past life, like I did bad things to always have bad things happen. I don't even know. I just have really bad luck. Why is it? Oh my god. What the hell is did y'all just see that? I don't even know. I think I just revealed too much information. I made someone from the underworld mad. What's the word? You have not neutral. Similar friends. What is the word?